Hey there guys, we've got a fun one today. This is Founder's Boltcutter. So this is their 15th anniversary beer. It is a 15% ABV barley wine that is partially aged in bourbon barrels, maple syrup bourbon barrels, and then non-barrel aged at all. So it's a blend, kind of a, I guess a 3 parts blend there. This is courtesy of SJ3324. Thank you very much, Seth. Been wanting to try this one for quite some time now. And pretty excited to have it. So
I love the barley wine.
Yeah, very much into barley wines. 5 years on it, and
very stoked.
Yeah. So with all that said, let's get into it. I, of course, have never had this. I have plenty of Founders, but this one, I actually don't think Founders was in Texas when this was released. I don't even know if it saw distribution, to be honest.
2013?
2012. Yeah, I don't think they were in Texas.
What was the first Founders I've had?
Breakfast Stout, I think was my first.
No.
That was my first, was
maybe.
Breakfast Stout.
I've had it before. Like, maybe I've just seen it before. I don't know. I tried a lot of things back in the day.
Alright, so as you can see, pours out this very deep, kind of this burgundy red, very dark amber. It's like a dark amber, almost maple syrup type color to it. Slightly beige, very off-white head to it. Pretty hazy too. It doesn't, I mean, definitely looks bottle conditioned, like quite a bit.
I already took a sniff. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Looks great. I don't know if this is American or English. I want to say it's an American style barley wine, but not 100% positive on it. So check out your own.
By the color, I would say English.
Well, not always. All by the nose, though. Woo. Lots and lots of caramel.
Mm-hmm.
It has that liquid caramel candy type character to it. However, it's got just a bit of that sort of hop spiciness to it, just a bit of that floral character. Even after 5 years.
It's sort of like a cider or something.
I'm definitely getting some wood too on this.
Absolutely. I can smell the maple.
You're smelling maple? I was wondering if I could pick out maple. I mean, it's very caramel forward, and sometimes it's hard to... you know what?
It's more sugary than it is...
yeah, I can kind of get it. And sometimes it's hard to distinguish between that kind of sweet caramel aroma and maple, but it's just got just a bit of that character. It smells awesome though.
It smells amazing.
Let's check it out. Cheers. Ooh.
A little soy sauce. That's the first thing I taste.
I don't know. Maybe almost a hint. It has
A hint, yeah.
It's got this hint of this kind of savoriness to it. However, still lots of really sweet caramel, bits of that maple syrup as well. But it's pretty spicy and woody on the back end. Definitely getting some of those like spicier, earthier floral hops to it.
Not as boozy as I would think, actually.
For 15%, I mean, there's a bit of heat through the nose,
Yeah.
but it's not that bad at all,
Most of the
really.
boozy I get at the back end.
It honestly, I mean, it's sweet up front, mid palate, but finish is nice and kind of dry from that wood and that hop character, which makes it decently drinkable for 15%. It's pretty sticky on the body as well. Definitely. Yeah. Nice and sticky. It's got a medium fullness to it, but it's not too thick. But yeah, it's definitely sticky. You know what? I'm getting a hint of like this sort of cherry, almost like a cherry kind of cough syrup thing towards the back end. A little bit.
I'm still mainly getting the soy.
The soy sauce. It does have some of that savory, umami type character to it as well. It's still pretty enjoyable, but it may have been aged just a little bit too long. And the fact that it's an American barley wine, I'm pretty sure this is American, just based on the hop character on it. I find that the problem with American barley wines is that the hops they use are too high in alpha acids, and that it gets this kind of earthy, almost stale characteristic from the hops that I think doesn't. I mean, it offsets the sweetness, but I just think it doesn't really complement the beer as much, in my opinion. I think that English styles with those beta acid forward hops, where it's more caramel, more chocolate, just has like a higher malt character to it, and the hops are almost not noticeable. I prefer that over the American style just for those reasons. Still really tasty. I mean,
I'd like to take a fresh one to see kind of what the differences would be.
They haven't made this score since, so
really?
Yeah, no, this was the one-time thing.
Doesn't Founders make a different? Oh, they make a different. I think they do make a different barley wine.
They don't have like a standard barley wine that they do. They
did a different one.
They have, I mean, the closest thing you could probably get for a seasonal thing would be like Devil Dancer as a triple IPA, which honestly the flavors aren't too far from an American barley wine. But off the top of my head, I can't recall that they have a standard barley wine.
I feel like they have.
They have Curmudgeon, which is an old ale, which is somewhat similar as well, but that's also seasonal.
Because I feel like I've had a Founders barley wine before.
That's just like a regular release. Not that I can think of. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there is no standard like Founders barley wine.
Okay, I'm trying to think of the recent ones I've done. I did 5.
Anyway, before this gets on too long, we'll talk about this here after the review. Pretty good stuff. I would probably drink them now, just because it's starting to develop a bit of that umami, like savory character to it, but still really awesome, and still really glad I got to try this. So thank you again very much, Seth. Awesome barley wine. I'm gonna go. Honestly, even with that savoriness and that hop character, I'm still going to go an easy 4.25 for me on this.
I'm at a 4.
You're at a 4.
It's still, it was a little bit too more prominent in my end. But I'm at a 4, but that might not be the beer's fault.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's fantastic, especially for an American style barley wine. I think this is one of the better examples, even with those kind of things going on. So that's pretty much it for Founders Boltcutter. And as always, cheers, and I'll catch you guys later.